Locksmith, and this is the update on the Kevo deadbolt. Basically, this thing came out, and it had some new unique features. Basically, you could operate it with a key, a manual key. You could operate it with a fob, a key fob, and you can operate it with your smartphone. Your smartphone becomes your key. And obviously, when new things come out, sometimes they have some problems, some bugs, some issues. This one, however, completely failed every expectation imaginable. I have nothing good to say about this lock, and it's not just because it's got the rekeyable feature on it, and it's not because it's Kwikset. It just really truly has a terrible design, and it's failed in every aspect. Basically, what I try and do is put this up and try it out and use it myself for a while. The number one problem I have with this lock is when you look at the Kevo lock here, you will see this tiny little slot right there. And when you see that tiny little slot on the side of the lock right here, that means you have the smart key system. And the smart key system means junk, basically. It means that you have a very light built lock with plastic parts inside that can very easily be overpowered by simple tools like a screwdriver. I mean, it's really that simple. There's a million videos on how to do it, and it's an unsafe design, and it's now being targeted by criminals because they know that that little lock has that little slot in it. That means it's going to be an easy break-in. So the first thing I wanted to do was trade the cylinder out and put a regular pin tumbler lock in here so I could feel a little bit more secure about it. However, Kwikset went to such lengths to make sure that that was not possible that it is pretty much now impossible to change the smart key junk out for a standard cylinder, and I'll show you what I mean. Basically, all this stuff is all built in here, and it's built into the electronics because the outside is touch sensitive. When you remove all these other pieces and you pull this last clip out, there's one last clip right here, this will come out. However, it will not accept a standard lock back into it like this. Right here, because it's not tall enough. It doesn't have it milled out to where you could put a standard pin tumbler lock in there. So I was actually going to give this thing a try until I figured out that you couldn't put a standard pin tumbler lock in there that I could design with some security pins and things like that to make it a more secure unit. They've made it impossible for even a professional to try and make their junk a little bit more secure. So here we are back at square one. The next step that I took was to at least fill in that hole and block it off so it does not look like a standard Kwikset smart key system. So that was filled in, then it was painted so it wouldn't be targeted, because I did still want to at least try and see if the electronics and stuff worked on it as well. So we put this up on the door, got the application, signed up for everything, went to the Kevo app store or whatever it is, and got enrolled in that program. Okay, and now that we enrolled in the Kevo program and set up a phone, which it was iPhone at the time, to run the system, every single time you shut your phone off, you had to go through and set up the entire program over again. This happened 2 or 3 times, called tech support, and they didn't have any answers. They really just said they didn't have any solution to that problem. So now it's supposed to be more convenient, and you're supposed to be able to use your smartphone as the key fob because it carries a signal and emits a signal around. When you come up to the lock, you're able to touch it. It receives this correct signal and then opens the door. However, it's not very convenient if you have to redo that system every single time you shut off your phone. Maybe they have fixed that now, but I gave this lock a chance a year ago and it failed every test. It was miserable to use. The application was miserable to use. It's not safe. It's not secure. And once again, I state that the owner of Kwikset, or the person, whoever is the president or whatever of Kwikset, claims that he has this lock on his home, but I bet he lives in a gated community where nobody even gets a chance to come close to that lock. It is a total waste of money and time. And the application did not work properly. The electronics did not work properly. The antenna, I was able to open the lock with the fob on the inside, which is supposed to have a dual antenna to sense where you are on from the door. That did not work either. Basically a 100% total and complete failure. Sorry it's taken so long to get back, but I couldn't even begin to make this lock safe. I couldn't begin to try and use the system, because every time you shut off your phone, you got to redo your profile with Kevo, and maybe they fixed that stuff now, but to have that much trouble and that much issue with something that is supposed to be simplifying people's lives and making them easier, and it was just a nightmare to work with. I just gave it its chance, and I've moved on. Kwikset's had these major issues since they decided to come out with the smart key system to begin with, and they just refuse to acknowledge that it's a flawed system and they need to do something different. And every time they try and make one tiny little change, for example, the lock cylinders that they send with the Kwikset Kevo now have a breakaway faceplate, which means when you try to break into it with a screwdriver, or some of the other methods you've seen, they designed it to where the faceplate would break away so it would deter criminals, but it doesn't. It just breaks away, and then you simply go after the rest of it, and then it falls apart. It's just, I wish they'd really focus and listen to the locksmiths, listen to the locking, the professional industry, and get rid of that system and move on to something else. Take the plastic, take the cheap aluminum, take all the cheap, low-cost things out of this system, and go ahead and redesign it. Start it from the ground up. Go back. If they take this and go back to a pin tumbler lock, they'd already be twice ahead of where they are right now. For some reason, they just refuse to do that. But either way, that's the review. Here it is a year later. It was only on the door for a short amount of time before it was just ever so frustrating to deal with and was removed. So as far as it holds up to the weather and whatnot, I don't know. It didn't even stay on the door long enough to deal with that. But for more information, check out the website, and please, do your research on this stuff and make a decision for yourself. But I can't say I like this lock at all in any way, shape, or form. And I can't say that it's secure from what I've seen. So for more information, check out the website. Have a good day.